Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another episode of our Road to Glory career mode. This is episode number 7, and today we're starting off by diving straight into an absolutely massive game in the Zweite Bundesliga as we play host to Fürth in a first versus fourth clash. We come on the back of what was an extremely disappointing away draw against Dynamo Dresden, and of course before that we tasted defeat in our biggest test yet when Bayern Munich knocked us out of the cup with a 1-0 victory at the Allianz Arena. Now can the Buccaneers recover when it matters most and pick up another big win in the league at a ground where so far we're yet to lose? We know it won't be easy, but if we're to stay top of the table, we need to return to winning ways. Come on, St. Pauli.
Well, this is where you want to come to see goals. The performance of the players from the home side this season, when they've been playing here at home, they're unstoppable.
Well, we should expect goals because this team has got some really good strikers who are banging form.
Well, we may still be top of the table and have held on to first spot since match day 4, I think it is, this season. But don't think it's been all plain sailing for St. Pauli, especially in recent weeks. Only 1 win in our last 4 in all competitions and 2 defeats in our last 4 as well. Plus, it's only 4 points separating first from fourth in today's big game. This is a massive, massive game for both teams, and neither side can afford to lose this one. We just can't seem to break them down at the moment. However, maybe a chance here with the engine driving forward on one of his attacking runs down the right, through towards the top scorer, Buhaduz. These two linking up so good so far early on in the campaign. Buhaduz still on the ball, cuts inside, finds a little bit of space, offloads towards Shaheen. Shaheen on the ball, looks for angle to shoot, and it's a good save by the goalkeeper, up in the air, and it won't drop to Moses, and it's behind for a corner. First chance of the game, good stop there, still 0-0 though, and we need a breakthrough. We're just not playing well, and even in the games where we're winning, like the game here against Union Berlin a couple of weeks ago, we're leaving it late and winning unconvincingly by a goal to 0. It's not the St. Pauli we saw at the start of the season. We've got to sort this out. Moses finds Shaheen though down the right-hand side. Shaheen on the ball with the back heel towards Miyaichi on the overlap. Great cross to the far post. Billing free header. What a save by the goalkeeper though, and cleared away in the centre of the area. Philip Billing, the Great Dane, going for the header. Another impressive stop though by that man in yellow, and it's still 0-0 because of him. Well, it's half time, and as things stand, we're set for our first goalless draw of the season. 0-0, not too many chances in the first 45 minutes. Need to find that breakthrough. Throw to St. Pauli, Sabota to Mane, inside towards the giant Billing with the fake shot. Tried to get himself inside, couldn't. And cleared by Fürth, who really seemed content to play for the 0-0, whereas for us, we want the 3 points. You know, they're okay with the draw, not us. We want the win in this one, and a big victory at that too. Here's Sabota on the ball, playing it back towards Billing, who he just received the ball from, and the Great Dane finds Buhaduz. The engine continues his run. I'll chip it through to him. It's Moses Odja, and it's a good stop by the goalkeeper, low down to his right. His 3rd save of the game. Still 0-0, 9 minutes after the restart. When are we going to get that all-important first goal? Will we? No, not at this rate, because it's another fine save by that man in yellow. The goal, it seems to be coming at any moment now, but the longer the game goes on, still at 0-0, you wonder whether we will find that goal at all. Well, now Fürth are coming out of their shells, and look, Fürth now coming out of their shell and looking to find a late goal to win this game, but Sobiek did well to intercept there and find Kai off the bench, and I'll roll it across towards Butchman, also off the bench. And now Sabota down the left-hand side with the fake shot, beats his man. Well done, Sabota. He's been good early on in the campaign. Nice turn, plays it inside, and oh well, Butchman went for the audacious little flick, and once again he was met by a fantastic save from the Fürth goalkeeper, who once again keeps us at bay and prevents us from taking the lead, which we surely deserve. Still 0-0. Are we ever going to score? As Kai's on the ball down the right hand side, drifts out of the area, crosses to the back stick, cleared away only as far as Sabota, who rifles one acrobatically over the bar. It's just not going to happen for us today. 5.5 minutes to go. We've won ourselves a corner. Can we win the game late on here and claim a massive 3 points? Shaheen is going to take it. He'll whip one in to the near post, and Sobiek heads it into the side netting. Come on, come on, come on. One late chance, one late chance, one late chance. Shaheen across towards Buhad, who's our top scorer. Good through ball towards Sabota. Down the left-hand side. I roll it back inside towards the Moroccan. It's Buhad. If anyone can do it, he can. No, good save by the goalkeeper again. Low down to his right-hand side. He has been absolutely sensational for the entire game. And because of that, Firth are going to cling on to the point, and we are going to fail to get the win we so thoroughly deserve. Oh no, we've got it. We've done it. Sabota has scored, and in the 4th minute of stoppage time, we're doing the same celebration again, because I don't know how this keeps happening, but I don't care. We've won the game deep into stoppage time and got ourselves the reward we deserve. I was saying the game was done. I thought it was. We were so late into stoppage time, but the clock kept ticking. We kept the chance alive, and Sabota, with the finish, drilled it across the goalkeeper into the bottom corner. And finally, we get the goal that will win us the game. And I've got to say as well, the goalkeeper's been spectacular all game long, and I'm quite surprised he got absolutely nothing on that. But we won't mind. Sabota's got the goal. It's the rowing boat celebration once more for a big 3 points. Oh, get in! And the referee's blown for full time, literally directly from kickoff, and I'm hardly surprised. Firth will be feeling absolutely livid at the amount of time that the 4th official allowed to go on the clock. So I don't think it was 3 minutes anyway. And then for an extra minute and a half to be added on by the referee. That's so unlucky on the opponents, but to be honest, we get what we deserve. We were the far superior side. That man did everything he could, but just couldn't hold on. Sabota wins us the game. What a huge, huge moment. I guess the best way of describing the ending of that game is that we got the luck we deserved. We were the far superior side for the entire 90 minutes, and of course I won't try and deny it. We were deep, deep, deep into added time when our Polish winger fired the ball into the bottom corner, and maybe by then the full-time whistle should have been blown. But considering what happened in the game against Bayern, when we played so well and deserved at the very least to get 1 goal and send the game into extra time, I guess we cashed in on some good karma in that game and got ourselves a massive 3 points to complete the very good start at the Millentor Stadion. Keep going. The very good start at the Millentor Stadion, where still we are undefeated in Hamburg. Another big result there, and we stay top of the table. But for the second game of today's episode here, we will travel away from home to take on VfL Bochum, still in the Zweite Bundesliga. And after our last 2 games, see us draw against Dynamo Dresden and lose against Hanover, throw in the defeat away at the Allianz Arena as well. No wins in our last 3 games away from home in all competitions. I was fearing the worst coming into this one, despite that big morale boosting victory in the last game. So coming to this game, I was hoping to pull off a shock and get a win away from home, despite our league form suggesting we should have been favourites. The current form away from home made me feel quite pessimistic, but I still believe we could get the 3 points here. The match winger Sabota stormed down left hand side for our first chance of the game, found Mane, who offloaded towards Shaheen, and what a start to the game as well, because just 12 minutes in, our Turkish winger would flex his muscles as he'd fire St. Pauli in front, and I was sure at this moment, even just 12 minutes in, we were going to return to winning ways for the first time away from home in this calendar month. So Shaheen with a really good finish there. It's his 2nd goal in the league so far, and so far that goal is the only goal separating the sides at half-time in a pretty uneventful first half, where to be honest, there'd been nothing to report other than that 1 goal, as it was the only shot on target. So we led by a goal to 0 at the break, and 12 minutes after the restart here, the hosts tried to get themselves back on level terms. The number 9 offloaded the ball towards Stoger, who tried his luck, but fired it way over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So still 1-0 to St. Pauli. But in the 65th minute, 20 minutes after the restart, Moses tracked back to win us the ball. The engine coming back on defense and starting an attack. Buhaduz found Sabota the game winner in the last game, who drilled one into the center, picked out Shaheen, and our Turkish winger picked up his 2nd goal of the game, pulled out the dab, and made it 2-0 to St. Pauli as we extended our lead and doubled our advantage away against Bochum. So Sabota with a nice run across into the middle, and Shaheen with a deft finish into the bottom corner made it 2-0, and we were now in front with a little cushion as well, which I always just feel so much more comfortable. When I'm leading by 1, I'm always feeling vulnerable. When I get that 2nd goal, I feel extremely confident of seeing out the result. So Bochum 0, St. Pauli 2, but directly from kickoff, Bochum of course passed the ball backwards and and then try to come forwards. But as Eisfeld received the ball here, he played it through towards the number 28, who was intercepted by Moses, once again winning it back. He found Ryo Miyaichi, our Japanese winger. Buhadu's then got on the ball, played it back towards the Japanese winger, who ran through one-on-one and finessed the ball into the back of the net to make it 3-0 to St. Pauli, and Bochum had capitulated. They lost the second goal, then they lost their discipline as we extended our lead to 3. A nice little 1-2 between the Moroccan striker and the Japanese winger, and our wide man, formerly on the books of Arsenal, kept his composure and finessed the ball past the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. For Moses as well, he hasn't scored since match day 3, when of course he started off with 3 goals in the first 3 games of the season, but you saw in this game that even when he's not contributing on the offensive end, he is on the defensive end. For our second and third goals, we got those goals because he won the ball back for us and started the attacks, and with 11 minutes to go, well, this was a fantastic sight to see, because for the first time in the series, we have a player getting a hat-trick and collecting the match ball come the end of the game, and it was Shaheen adding his 3rd goal of the game, cutting in from the right with a lovely little Berber spin, and then a great finish past the goalkeeper at the near post with so much shot power on that one. Though, to be fair, positioning wasn't the best from the number 1, but a great finish regardless, and Shaheen wrapped the points up in style. So Bochum 0, St. Pauli 4. We'd equaled our biggest win of the season so far and had a chance to extend our biggest win of the season to 5 goals in this game. Once again, it was the man of the moment, Shaheen, who was absolutely fantastic in this game, doing everything for us, finding Butchman. He found Sabota, but our Polish winger's shot was well saved by the goalkeeper, and then the follow-up shot was deflected behind for a corner. We didn't care though. Final score, Bochum 0, St. Pauli 4, and a hat-trick for Shaheen as well.
Well, undoubtedly, he was the star man today.
Well, he goes across and grabs the match ball from the ref, a hat-trick, and that's to be treasured by any player.
So the biggest win of the series was equaled in style in this game. Of course, we beat Bielefeld away from home by 4-0 a few episodes ago. Now beat Bochum by the same scoreline, also away from home. And of course, Shaheen getting a hat-trick, the first one of the series, was awesome to see as well. And it's kind of cool that both of our biggest wins so far have come on the road too, because I said this a few episodes ago, it's all well and good making your home a fortress, but you also need to win away from home as well. And so far, we are still unbeaten at home, but of course after those recent 3 results away from home, a draw and 2 defeats in all competitions, that wasn't good enough. You know, if we are to get promoted this season, if we are to cling on to top spot for the remainder of the year, we're gonna have to pick up the points away from home. We're doing it at the Milan Tour right now, but we also need to make sure we do it on the road too. So a massive statement win there. We proved that we're not a home team only, we can also win when away from home, and that was a huge result for the Buccaneers. So a big 4-0 win. We would return to the Milan Tour though for the second game of today's episode, the third game even of today's episode here, as we would take on SV Sandhausen, and this was quite an interesting side to face as well, because our opponents for this game are currently sitting bottom of the table right now with just 1 win in the season so far, and maybe the reason why is because our striker Buhadu's, currently competing for the Golden Boot this year, was of course signed from this team in the summer transfer window. So I was looking forward to seeing whether Buhadu's could return to scoring goals after no goals in his last 2 games and get a goal against his former club here. We started off okay with the first chance of the game, that shot going wide though from Billing. With 4 minutes to go, it was exactly how we planned it. Buhadu's would score against his former club, not do much of a celebration against his former team, as he would head the ball into the back of the net and make it St. Pauli 1, Sandhausen 0. A lovely little assist there from Ryo Miyaichi as the 2 players played a 1-2 there, and a brilliant diving header from our Moroccan striker. I've said it before and I say it again, I know this guy's 29 years old, I know sooner rather than later he's going to decrease in stats and he'll probably never improve as a player in terms of his attributes, but he's now scored 9 goals in the Zweite Bundesliga. I really like this guy, and as he walked off the pitch at halftime as well, he was shaking his head a little bit too. He was thinking, do you know what, I probably should have showed respect after that goal. But anyway, St. Pauli 1, Sandhausen 0. The Moroccan had scored against his former club, and we led by a goal going into the break. You can see why our opponents are bottom of the table right now as well with just a 1 win. They hadn't recorded a single shot in the first half as we were up by 1, and 4 minutes after the restart had a chance to make it 2-0. Shaheen, who scored a hat-trick in the last game, would take this free kick. Wouldn't go for goal though. He whipped the ball into the middle, picked out Lasse Sobiek, our captain, and he made it St. Pauli 2, Sandhausen 0, doubled our advantage 5 minutes after the restart as our 6'5" defender would would make it 2-0 to the Skull and Crossbones. So a lovely assist for Shaheen. He's had a really good start to the season as well, not just for the hat-trick in the last game, just in general. His play's been fantastic, and a great assist there too. A big header from Sobiek, and he does get his first goal of the season. So I made him captain after selling Gonfa, and as you can see, that was a great way to mark the occasion as he made it 2-0 with his first goal of the season. Moses almost scored his first goal since match day 3, coming inside there and going for goal, but sadly the shot cannoned into the side netting, and it was still 2-0. And with 30 minutes to go, another chance here to make it 3. A lovely assist would have been for Moses there had the shot hit the back of the net, but instead it cannoned off the crossbar and eventually was cleared by our opponents. But it was still a 2-0 to St. Pauli until there were 5 minutes to go when this happened. Now, we've started off the season really, really well, both on the offensive end and surprisingly so on the defensive end as well. But Sandhausen were gifted a route back into this game with 4.5 minutes to go, with also one of the weirdest celebrations of all time, which ended up defying the laws of physics. But anyway, I just walked in to the Sandhausen player there with Robin, and don't ask me what on earth I was doing there. I played it back to my goalkeeper. I tried to clear it, but you may have seen I powered up to press the square button, but for some reason, nothing ended up happening. I'll take the blame, of course. I was way too late trying to get rid of the ball. That is, of course, my fault, no doubt about it, but Sandhausen stole in for a consolation goal through Daniel Gordon, and in the end, that was all they could manage. But anyway, final score, St. Pauli 2, Sandhausen 1. We don't really mind too much. Clean sheets aren't our focus with St. Pauli anyway, so we're not really too fussed about it, although it was a pretty silly goal to throw away, to say the very least. Still, we get the win. That is, of course, the most important thing. Buhaduz and Sobiek making sure we get those 3 points and we stay top of the table with 3 wins in our last 3 games. And after a shaky run of form in recent weeks, this is much more like it. We want to stay first place between now and the end of the season, and if we keep this form up, we certainly will do. But to end the episode off, we have a look at our academy, and so far, of course, just the one youth player in there. That is our scout future star Rodolfo, who continues to look pretty decent at just 15 years old. A squad report as well, and a look at the league table too, where, as you'll see in just a moment's time, with 20 games remaining in the season, just over half of the season left to play, we are top of the table by 6 points, and there's a long way to go. But if our current form is anything to suggest, and the fact that we're still yet to lose a game at the Milan Tour, we should hopefully be able to remain at least in the top 3 between now and the end of the season, bar any kind of meltdown. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling confident, and this St. Pauli team is playing well, progressing well, and of course continuing to get the wins. But that will end today's episode of our Road to Glory career mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the episode, then please do leave a like. Much love, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you for the next episode of our Road to Glory career mode with St. Pauli very soon.